A deeper look at headlines shaping our world. From breaking news to stories that matter, we bring you top stories, facts you can trust, clarity you deserve, and perspectives that inform. Across nations, across communities, we connect you to every moment as it happens. This is Top Stories, showing every weekday on Ogama TV. Top Stories. Stay informed, stay ahead. A very pleasant day to you and welcome to Top Stories on Ogama TV. First, we bring you the headlines. Enugu State Government abolishes daily taxation on petty traders. Nigerians react as federal government approves 3.3 trillion naira power sector debt settlements. And on the foreign scene, Pakistan's Prime Minister urges extension of US deadline amid rising Middle East tensions. And on sports, Super Falcons to face Cape Verde in international friendly ahead of WAFCON 2026. Bringing you the news is Chidiogo Asuke. Now the news in details. Enugu State Governor Peter Mba has ordered the immediate suspension of daily taxation on petty traders across the state. The directive effectively ends the collection of daily tolls from traders operating without lockup shops. Governor Mba, who was represented by the Secretary to the State Government, Professor Chidiebere Onya, made this known during a stakeholders meeting on the harmonization of revenue collection in markets held at the Old Government Lodge. Describing the affected individuals as vulnerable traders, the governor declared the continued collection of such levies illegal. A task force chaired by the SSG has been established to ensure full compliance. The governor warned that anyone found collecting the 100 naira or 200 naira tolls, whether on behalf of the government or privately, will face the full weight of the law. He further urged local government chairmen, traditional rulers, market leaders, and president generals to report any violations. However, the directives does not affect traders operating in lockup shops who continue to pay annual fees of 30,000 to 36,000 naira. Governor Mba emphasized that his administration remains committed to easing the burden on citizens and will not tolerate actions that increase hardship.
Representing in this meeting, very short meeting, very direct, to address a concern that we have been hearing across the state. The issue of market toll revenue in our markets has generated much attention, and the governor has given clear directives for immediate implementation. Mayors are going to play a significant role in the implementation of this. The task force that will be set up at the local government level will be headed by the mayors. Market toll refers to tolls that are collected from traders without lockup shops anywhere in the state. This is those that pay 200 naira daily, meant to support the poor. Those toll revenue collections is hereby suspended with immediate effect.
Moving on, electricity consumers and stakeholders have raised concern over President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's approval of 3.3 trillion naira to settle legacy debts in Nigeria's power sector. The announcement made by the presidential spokesperson Bayo Ononuga has generated mixed reactions nationwide. The Association of Generation Companies questioned the basis for the figure, with Chief Executive Officer Joy Ogaji stating that GenCos were not adequately consulted. Despite the planned settlement, experts warned that the move may not resolve the country's persistent electricity challenges. As of April the 3rd, 2026, power generation stood at just 3,345 megawatts, with many Nigerians still experiencing widespread outages. Energy expert Kunle Olubiyo noted that inconsistencies in data and lack of transparency could undermine the effectiveness of the intervention. Similarly, retired PHCN officials Ewotumo AA alleged that the total debt in the sector could be as high as 12 trillion naira, criticizing the government for lack of clear implementation plans. And on the foreign scenes, Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has called on US President Donald Trump to extend a deadline issued to Iran over the blockade of the Strait of Hormuz. Sharif urged a 2-week extension to allow diplomatic efforts to progress, noting that negotiations are advancing steadily and could yield meaningful results. He also appealed for a ceasefire within the proposed period to enable a peaceful resolution. The situation has heightened tensions in the Middle East following warnings from President Trump about possible military action. Reacting to the development, Pope Leo XIV condemned the threat against Iran, describing it as inappropriate and morally unjustifiable. He warned that further escalations could worsen global economic conditions, particularly energy prices. Meanwhile, Iran is reportedly considering the ceasefire proposal, even as civilians have begun forming human chains around critical infrastructure in a show of solidarity. And in sports, the Super Falcons of Nigeria are set to face Cape Verde in an international friendly later this April. The match is part of preparations for the 2026 Women's African Cup of Nations. While the exact dates and venue are yet to be announced, the fixture is expected to take place during the April international window. The Super Falcons were last in action against Cameroon's indomitable Lionesses earlier this year. At the WAFCON 2026 tournament, Nigeria will compete in Group C alongside Egypt, Malawi, and Zambia. Cape Verde, making their debut appearance, have been marked in Group D with Cameroon, Ghana, and Mali. We now bring you the highlights of the story on the bulletin so far. We brought to you that the Enugu State Government has abolished daily taxation on petty traders. We also brought to you that Nigerians has reacted as federal government approves 3.3 trillion naira power sector debt settlement. And on the foreign scene, Pakistan's Prime Minister urges extension of US deadline amid rising Middle East tensions. And on sports, Super Falcons to face Cape Verde in international friendly ahead of WAFCON 2026. And that's all the news at this hour. For more updates and breaking news, don't forget to follow us on our socials, Facebook at Ogama TV, on Instagram at Ogama TV1, on X at Ogama TV, YouTube at Ogama TV. Also visit our website www.ogamatv.com. I am Chidiogo Asuke. Many thanks for watching. Bye for now.
When you think of online TV and radio, broadcasting, media consultancy, event coverage, event management and planning, there's no better name than Ogama TV. But that's not all. We're also into photo studio and coverage, equipment rental, news blogging, fashion and pageantry. We are at number 5/21 Chime Avenue, beside Open Sheraton Restaurant, New Haven, Enugu. Follow us on our social media handles: Facebook at Ogama TV, Instagram at Ogama TV1, Twitter at Ogama TV, website www.ogamatv.com. You can also send us email at ogamatv@gmail.com. Ogama TV, your one-stop media solution.